There are people who don't trust the government, and libertarians are open to this, and this is dangerous. He says this could get people killed. Yeah, we got a big tyranny coming, a big takeover, and it could become a civil war. And see, people are choosing sides right now. They're saying, oh my God, don't say there's corruption. That could get people killed. Well, it's the New World Order that's getting people killed all over the world. He goes on, he defines it, because he's like Karl Rove. He is a history's actor. He says what it is, then you just accept whatever that new reality is. You know, there's no condescension there. It's just, he's a thinker, you're a receiver. He's God, you're slave. The term conspiracy theory is used to indicate a narrative, a story, genre that includes a broad selection, not necessarily related. Oh yeah, like there's drones in the skies, checkpoints, bankrupt government, military checkpoints. You're not supposed to like go out to a lake or a pond and it's full of trash and green slime. And you're like, there's green slime all over it. And they're like, no, wait a minute, you're putting all this together. The McDonald's garbage, the green slime, maybe a dead cow floating over there. You know, you walk up to a beautiful crystal clear lake, little fishy swimming around, beautiful day, it's warm. Yeah, they all go swimming. You know, you're engaging in the thought process, bringing in all the data. No. You come up to a big stinking black lake with dead fish floating in it. You're supposed to say, oh, well, I'm not going to put all this together. If the mainstream media says go right into it, I just should. Because after all, Liberty champion Austin Peterson said so. He's a champion. They said so. I mean, don't question, don't have a thought process about this PR piece, or you're not a Liberty champion. The term conspiracy theory is used to indicate a narrative genre that includes a broad selection of arguments to the existence of grand conspiracies. Big, grand, you know, UN, NATO, Bilderberg doesn't exist. Though through all mainline history books it does. The term is frequently used to identify secret military. Oh, there's nothing secret in the military. Not secret codes, not secret drills, not Gulf of Tonkin. None of this. No, just trust the COG underground bases they admit exist. Just, you know, they say they'll use the military to kill us, NDAA. I told you about that beforehand. Now it's a reality. Drones, but still, it's here, but you're not supposed to talk about it, or you're a conspiracy theorist. Secret military, secret banking. You know, don't talk about banking, period, in fact, or political actions aimed at stealing power. Oh, no one ever steals power in politics. I mean, this young man who looks like he might have first bought his first Bic shaver, he says he's Karl Rove, because he said so. He went to the people and he goes on to warn them, you guys are getting dangerous. You're listening to all sorts of alternative ideas. He actually says that. You're having open minds. I thought this was satire until I looked more into it today. So he says the government may want to steal power from the people. I thought George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Patrick Henry, I mean, they all said that, oh, they're bad, he's good, okay. Conspiracy theories are based on the notion that complex plots are put into motion by powerful hidden forces. Like I told you 5 years ago, to shut down power plants, and then Obama did it to make more money for his buddies, and now it's all happened? You mean like Ken Lay and Enron? He goes on to say the worst thing is the 9/11 truthers. They're destroying true justice. They're just the worst people. I mean, you should ignore Al-Qaeda working for the Pentagon all over the news, or Fox News admitting Anwar al-Awlaki was secretly a CIA agent for 9/11 and involved. I mean, that's even mainstream news. You're just not supposed to even discuss that in any way. He just goes on. He says, the tendency to embrace alternative realities has been increased by libertarian icon Ron Paul. And it says, that's okay, but engaging in this type of backwards thinking can lead not only to madness, it's backwards. It's backwards. Founding father, old-fashioned, you know. Let's go back even further to trusting government like Rome or maybe the Aztecs. Listen, engaging in this type of backwards thinking can lead not only to madness, but to murder. But embracing it leads to more wars and drone attacks, which isn't murder. But hey, oh, there you go. You got a glamour shot at Walmart, so it's all over. Continuing. He goes, you bear some moral responsibility for the violent actions taken by sick and deranged. Folks, that is pure Cass Sunstein. That is pure when Nightline's been here, and when MSNBC Hardball's been here, and when Rolling Stone and New Yorker magazine and the National Post of Canada and the London Guardian and the BBC, and they've all been here. I mean, everything this guy writes is a direct script. Do you realize this is a script, is my point. This is cognitive infiltration. I don't know if they came to him and said, you want a job at Fox News? Because, you know, they say he's the associate producer of the Freedom Watch that hadn't been around in 5 months, and that he's a big star and everything. Everybody knows who he is. I never heard of him. I know who everybody is. I mean, my point is, this is what you've got. This is who they send in. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. You know, I noticed that everything he writes is the exact narrative. Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL, MSNBC, Nightline, been on them all. I have heard this exact crap, word for word. I mean, word for word, over and over again. And with Nightline, I'm like, let me show you C-SPAN clips of the head of the EU calling for world government, global taxation. No, we don't want to see that. Well, let me show you a document. No, we don't want to see that. Is this going to cause violence? You know, you bear responsibility for what you're doing. You know, this narrative, connecting things, saying there's corruption in government. And I'm like, are you joking? And they go and they put that on for the sheeple out there who they have total disdain for. And then I read this. This is who ran Judge Napolitano's show? Because he told me, oh, you know, and this part wasn't off record. You know, other Fox people told me same stuff. He said, well, Glenn Beck's producers are going to flip out if I have you on, so I better not. I'm like, that's fine. I'm already here in New York to go on shows. You invited me over here to the studio, and you're telling me this now. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't care. Don't you get it? I don't care. I don't care. The gold company I put on the map, Ted Anderson, they weren't going to give Freedom Watch a show because they didn't have a sponsorship. We ponied up. Ted called me. He said, do you think we ought to do this for a year? And I said, I don't know. That'll be half his budget to get him on air. And I said, if that's what they need to get him on air, do it. We got him on air. We got this little guy his job, though I never knew his name. And then I get to sit here and be talked down to when we actually tried to influence News Corp. But see, we can't influence News Corp, even though we know there's some good people in there. And you know why we can't influence News Corp? Because they, as I told you a year ago, and now it's been admitted, are being blackmailed and controlled. The Justice Department, the same folks that ship hand grenades and machine guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment, even though you can't buy hand grenades at the gun shop. They are crooks, and they can arrest Rupert Murdoch and are talking about arresting him, all of them right now. And so, of course, they got rid of Freedom Watch. Of course, they kicked Glenn Beck off. And the message is, you guys worked within the system, and where did it get you? All of us are going to end up like this. You ready, dude? Okay. So, you know, the point is, it's not even that big of a deal. It's just that I covered it, and I sit here, and I see some snot-nose sit there. If this guy isn't an operative, these talking points were given to him by somebody. I mean, because it's direct, ham-fisted, Cass Sunstein, word for word, Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL crap. And I've seen this over and over again. I've seen other radio networks I know who will go hire somebody that's on like 15 stations, this is nobody, and pay them all this money because they're establishment and it makes no money and has no success. And then things that are alternative and are incredibly successful and make money, it still doesn't have that allure. People still have this mental illness that if it's a big giant, you know what, guys, maybe we should do it if it gets the truth out. Let's bring Obama in here right now, please. Come on in, McBrain, if you're dressed up like Obama. I don't know why, but whatever, bring him in. No teleprompters. Maybe we should, because it's not very expensive, like 50 grand. Put in one of those big fancy and a boom and some stuff, and wear like a big three-piece suit and a big old giant, you know, tie. And I can sit here and shovel garbage at you all day, and you're like, well, he's wearing a fancy tie. It must be true. Come on in here. By the way, that is a nice shirt available at INFOWARSshop.com. We're not funded by the New World Order. Oh, yes, we have the top 10 reporter contest, and it's top 10 narrowing the field in the InfoWars reporter contest. Those are now at InfoWars.com. And we just announced the $5,000 winner. We just announced the $5,000 winner of phase 1 of the Obama dictator poster contest. Next phase is $10,000. So find out more at InfoWars.com. Okay, that's it for this live transmission. We take you now. How long is this? Because I was going from memory. Is it over 2 hours? 2 hours and 48 minutes. Only passion brings you that. It's up to you to get these videos out to everybody you know. But, I mean, my God, what a ham-fisted attempt to give us our new star who will lead libertarians to the promised land. There's no government with powerful people that want to take power. Well, that's the new libertarianism. Well, my God. And again, it's got to be extreme to move the Overton window from the government's pure narcotics trafficking, child molesting murderers over to there's no government evil. That's libertarianism. And you hear like little Tweety bird noises, you know, happy springtime music. What's that famous springtime music you hear everywhere? You know, with the da 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 da. Big government and army checkpoints are good. All right, folks, we appreciate you watching and listening and supporting us. 15-day free trial at PrisonPlanet.tv right now. Hey, we shot it. We did it. We busted our humps. It's up to you now to get the ammo down range. Here is a 2-hour plus INFOWARS, nightly news, Gerald Salente, and more. But what he says doesn't matter because Eddie Haskell says government's not corrupt. Stay with us.